But anyway, that brings us to our topic of the night, body count. So it's going to be some real good questions tonight. Ladies, what's your body count? We'll get to that later. Let's move on. I got my girl Trail, she back in the house. Chastity in the house. And my dog Mike, he here. We talking about body count tonight. Before we get started, I just want to wish my mom a happy birthday. It's coming up on the 17th. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My mom is the 15th.
15th? Yeah?
Happy
Okay.
birthday
June,
to
baby. So, I'm going to just hop right into it. What y'all think about body count? Is body count, we got two ladies in the room, so is body count as important to you as it is to us? Is it as important to men as it is to women, or does it not matter how many people your partner has been with? Is it better if he's been with a lot of women? Do you find that more attractive or less?
Not at all.
No?
I don't think that it really matters to the point to where it's oh, I'm not gonna be with you because it's typical men, you slept with a few people.
Yeah.
But
Now that is the assumption that men have been around.
Yeah.
Mike, do you find that women feel like that about you?
I believe they do,
Yeah.
but I haven't been around a whole lot, so
You haven't been around a whole lot.
not a whole lot, not for
Not
my
a whole
age,
lot.
not for my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna delve into that a little bit later. Chastity, do you find that it's less attractive for you to date a man who's been with a whole lot of women, or do you feel like you're special if you can pull that man out of that life?
It's not less attractive. However, I feel like the same standard men hold women to, they should think about holding themselves to when it comes to sex.
right.
So we should not have this double standard because, fellas,
Right.
we feel like if we've been with 50, she shouldn't have been with more than 5 or more than 3. We shouldn't have that double standard.
Oh, but y'all really feel like that. Men feel like women shouldn't.
Yeah. We shouldn't sleep around, but men are sexually, they're just promiscuous creatures. They going after a number in their head. Let me see how many people in New Orleans I can take down. Whereas they expect for their woman in the same environment to say, you shouldn't carry yourself to this standard, but sex is sex. People are people. The same way my body should be a temple, yours should be too.
And we're going to talk more about that temple later. Fellas, before it's all over, if y'all been around New Orleans and you've seen these beautiful women or you've seen them on Instagram and you want to know their body count, I'm getting those numbers tonight, big dog. Don't worry about that. I'm getting that tonight. They signed a contract. I'm getting the numbers tonight. I'm closing them. But let's talk a little bit about sexual intercourse. So according to the author of Sacred Sexual Bliss, she says that sex is not a sin. She says most religions say that it is, but that's a lie. But that sex can actually bring us back to an experience of God within. What do you believe? Do you believe that sex outside of marriage is a sin? Just your belief, not based on how you were raised. No? Mike, what do you believe?
I don't believe I was taught that, but I don't think it's...
So you were taught that it was outside of marriage, it was a sin.
Absolutely.
But what do you believe now?
What I feel?
Yeah, what do you feel?
I feel like if it's a go, it's a go. But I don't think, if you're into someone, I don't think just going around having sex just to be having sex. But if you in a relationship with someone, you're serious with someone, I don't think it's damnation to you. I don't think that.
Chastity?
No.
You don't believe it's a sin?
No.
Okay.
What's the difference? What is the difference? I want to know, what's the different feelings? What are you feeling from this person that you're not feeling from this person? Because it's all the same. What do men feel? Because we know what we feel. Us women know what we feel.
Well, why don't you tell me what you feel as a woman? What is the sexual experience like as a woman? What is it?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Especially when you have a connection with
And if
someone
you,
beyond sex. It's like liberating.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I've never like slept with anyone that I wasn't like actually into. Like I'm a girl that have to actually like I have to be into you. I'm
Not just attracted.
attracted.
Like you have to be
Highly
attracted. Highly
Like,
attracted.
that's the most part. Like,
But is it just the physical attraction that you have to have, or do you have to like more about that man? Do you have to like the way he thinks? Do you have to like his swag? Do you have to like
Yes.
his
Absolutely.
lifestyle?
Yes.
Because and the reason I'm asking is, can you see a man that might just have a big package and he's sexy to you? Is that enough for you?
But before you see the
That's not
package, you
enough.
see the man
you see
himself.
himself, yeah.
So before you see what he looks like naked, you
Right,
see
you
him
see him.
dressed up, his swag, the way he talks, the way
Right.
he moves, the way he floats throughout the room,
Can
the way
you-
people gravitate to him.
Can
Like
you-
you see that.
Can you look past the way that he moves, the way that he may not have swag, and just be into him because he has a big package though?
No.
Really?
No.
That's fellas, I'm getting all the information for you. I'm getting it for you right here, bro.
No.
You gotta use this.
Joy.
Mike.
That's why when we talk about the double standards,
Yeah.
this is where it comes in at, because what these ladies are saying, what most women and decent women, the way they think is, if they're going to have sex with someone, they're into it. They're thought about it. The emotions are there.
Yeah.
So when they have sex, it's more to it than just a physical act.
Yeah.
Whereas with a man,
It's all physical.
it could be just a physical act. And that's why when we talk about double standards, that's why it's more meaningful when a woman does it
Yeah.
versus when a man does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Getting it from this perspective, guys, if you're watching, you should really be sitting down trying to figure out how you could get in your woman's heart in all of these ways that these ladies are talking about. So, do you believe that it's possible, because we already covered, sex, not really, how you guys feel about sex, whether it's a sin or not. Do you believe it's possible to meet someone, date them, and marry them, and not have sex until after marriage? The Bible promotes this, churches promote this, some families promote you shouldn't have sex before marriage. Can you actually, in today's world, in this culture, meet somebody, date them, be attracted to them, be feeling them for a duration of time? We're talking months, maybe a year, and never sleep with them? No oral, no nothing.
No, not me. Because I feel like even though that like sex is like not that important to me, like I don't want to be with nobody that I'm not enjoying sex with at the same
Gotcha.
time, and that's as a woman.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not if you're not good in bed, then like that it makes up like what are we doing? So I wouldn't, like I'm not waiting.
Yeah,
Chastity?
same. And it's when you see someone that you're attracted to and you think of like longevity with, seeing them for the first time to the 50th time makes you want to jump in their bones. And if I see you for the first time and nothing about you arouses me, I know it's not gonna go.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
Right.
it's like
You know from day one.
like I'm gonna sleep with you. Like I know from day one. I'm gonna
Right.
yeah.
Mike, is that possible for you as a man to date a woman?
It's possible, but I won't try it.
Nah, you're not.
I won't do it. No, I won't do it. It's possible, but I won't do it. Nah.
I think anything is possible if that's your
If
goal.
that's your-
If
That's
that's
your
your
right.
thing,
Yeah, yeah.
anything is possible, but that's not something I'm gonna set out to say, oh, I'm
No,
gonna meet somebody
no.
and we're not
Because
gonna
the
have
night
sex.
of
No.
the wedding, and once we married and we do it,
And it's not good.
divorce.
Like, yeah. What did I wait all this
Yeah.
time for?
You like, this
Get
was
me
a
out of here.
thank you. She like, thank you for this ring.
I used to be like really, really big on like, like, oh, I'm not sleeping with nobody on the first night or something like that until like recently, probably like, like what, 2 years or something ago. Like I had a incident like that, like on the first, time that I linked up with this guy, like I slept with him and I just had this thing in my head like, oh, you don't do that. But I'm getting older now, I'm starting to experience more because I've always been, like I said, with one person.
Yeah.
So, just getting out there, like, doing it.
Did you feel like you betrayed your morals when you did that? Did you feel guilty about it?
No.
Really?
But you know what's crazy? Women, when we see you the first time, we automatically know if we're going to sleep with you or not. It's just up to us to give it to you on the first night.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
I
already
didn't
know.
that.
So when men think it's them getting it on the first
like,
night, no, it's us giving it to you.
I got you
on the first night. Like,
Fellas, we all,
I didn't know that.
not only are you out there feeling played, I feel played right now too. We all going back in our mind like this.
Because I've already called my friend. Like, yeah,
I'm going to give him some.
All those phone calls y'all made. Say, bro. Yeah, I got him. That's what I told you I was gonna do. Dudes putting their phone down like this.
Man.
Thought it was me.
We already,
So it
it
wasn't
already
us.
planned out. We already know the place. We already know the time.
Wow.
We already know what underwear we gonna have on.
Well,
so it's not really
I'll
a man thinking, "Oh, you got us." No, we got you because we talked about it for months
And if
before you
we've
even.
been if we've been conversing for like months or years, like, if that's on your list, hang it up, because if it was
it was gonna
hang
happen.
it
It was
up,
gonna happen.
because
It
if
would
it was gonna happen,
it would have
was
happened the
gonna
first
happen. It
night.
would've
And I grew up thinking, with no sisters, I grew up thinking that guys was the naughty ones. I always grew up thought we were the naughty ones. It's girl, yeah,
We
I
sit down
learned
and we
that
have
one.
girl talk
We
all
have
the
girl talk.
time.
That's what I say, like,
about
men, y'all have y'all guy talk. We have girl talk. Like, I can't wait to tell my friend about this. Like, let me tell you how this was. Like, yeah.
Wow. Fellas. Man, we all wow. That's all I can say. But
got
this is good
played.
information for us, because guys don't, they only think in the context of what they think about. How they think about, I got this one, I got that one. But really, we weren't getting anything.
Right, yeah. Y'all was giving something up.
I was offering you a charity. So
Oh,
here,
man.
have this.
So, sex, according to this author, is the experience of two souls merging together, experiencing God within two people. So this is two bodies that become one soul. If that's true, then do you think you could be connected to a soul even after having sex just one time? And think about this question, because the author does not agree. She's not coming from a religious point of view. This is a scientist. So all of these different sexual things that we just talked about, and different types of sex, 14 different types of sex, she knows about all of those. She knows how to reach them scientifically. But coming from a spiritual perspective, she doesn't believe that that's a thing at all. But she does believe that it's the merging of two bodies that become one soul. So the question is, if that's true, then these same guys that, I'm gonna give it to him, girl. Us, she getting it. I'm going out, whatever I need to do, we're going to dinner, I'm getting her. Do you believe that if after one time, you and her, you and him, those two bodies have merged and become one soul just after one occasion? Do you believe that's possible?
I don't.
You don't?
No. I
Why?
think people are more attached to experiencing that person in a soul tie. Because in order for it to be a soul tie, there has to be a stronger connection, a level of God into it. And I don't think people realize that. Like, you're just attached to the experience that you had with them, and you're disguising it as a soul tie. Because I don't believe in it.
Do you believe that the soul tie is it just an experience of God, or could it just be an experience of a very strong, whatever that person's soul is attached to? So even if it might be evil.
I think you just using soul tie as a way to not want to let that person go.
So you think that a person has control over whether or not they could get a person out of their spirit, out of their soul? How would they do it? First, before you answer that, have you ever had a soul tie that was hard to break? Okay.
No.
So we coming from
if I want you gone, you gone.
Oh, and then listen. But you know what? I'm happy you said that. If you want him gone, he's gone. How do you go about doing that?
I pray people out of my life.
Really?
Whether it's long term, I haven't had a one night stand since I was in my teens. So, but when I've been in relationships and I know it's time to move on,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like God gives and He takes. So,
So
if
you pray them away.
yeah.
Do
go
you
ahead.
think that is it possible for you to sex them away?
No. Because once I don't want you no more, I'm not attracted to you at all sexually. It's like nothing you could do for me is gone.
Fellas, I'm getting the information for you. I'm getting the information for you, for us, for all of us
There's
in
no
the whole wide world, brothers.
And I feel like women like to use, I think that was created by women to say it's a soul tie, because when you really want somebody energy away from you, there is no amount of gifts, there's no amount of sex, there's no amount of apologies that will keep them around. Like, you use this word as a scapegoat. You're just attached to the experience of that person, not to their soul. Because if that's the case, then you wouldn't be dealing with what you're dealing with.
Right.
You agree with that, Charles?
Yeah,
Mike,
absolutely.
come in. Listening to her speak, you've had the experience of being married before and it not working out. You know about the late nights. You know about driving by her house and wondering if she's home or not.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is a woman's superpower to be able to just step away from a man like that?
I believe it is.
Yeah. You've had a soul tie before, the one that she hasn't had. You've been married, so you know what it's like to be linked with somebody
Yeah.
and not be able to get them out of your spirit.
And I'm wondering if it was the attachment or was it a soul tie?
It's kind of hard to tell.
It's kind of hard to tell, yes.
And chastity, listen, it's a hell of a superpower that not only Trell, but just all women seem to have when they're able to just cut us off. And I have to speak for my guys out there right now. It's a hurtful feeling.
But you don't know how many times we've tried, though. So before we reached a point of cutting you off altogether, there's been 20 other instances where we've put in work to make it work. Men are just oblivious to that work side of it because they look at it as nagging. Like, so once we get to the point where we draw that line in the sand and say, you're not crossing over here, that's it.
And I can appreciate that. But because of this superpower that you have, and I'm speaking for my guys out there, a lot of times we want to know what makes you think you're the person that could just draw the line in the sand. Because the way you love me and the way you've given me chances is the way that I've tried to improve myself, Mike, over this whole course of this relationship. And you've now drawn a line in the sand, and my heart is so open to you. But you're oblivious to how I feel, and you say I'm oblivious to the things you've done. Why do you get to choose that?
Because although you are improving, yes, you haven't improved to the level I'm comfortable with continuing to deal with. So I'm
Quick
drawing
enough.
my line quick enough. You haven't
Guys.
turned that corner. You turned the corner, but you ain't turned it quick enough. And at that point, I'm tapped out.
Right.
So I don't want you to stay here and let me damage you, because there's the other side to that coin. Like, if you stay if I stay, then I'm going to only damage you, because I'm never going to forgive you for the things you've made improvement on, because it's going to always be in the back of my head.
Right.
One mess up and it's like, I told you hadn't changed. So before we do that, it's like, I release you to really go do the improvement you need to do. And if it's meant down the road, with me, no, because I don't give second chances. But yeah.
Mike, does this sound like the power of a woman? And just the power of a black woman?
It does.
I mean, does it sound fair to you?
It's not fair.
It's not fair, Mike.
Because a lot of times, it's that.
But let me ask you this. Why do black men expect for black women to suffer in love that way when you aren't willing to? You all are not willing to suffer in love to wait for our improvement. You're not. Right. So why do black men, as our brothers, as our companions, expect for us to suffer in love through you getting better?
So, Mike, you want to chime in first?
I mean, the thing is, so this man is here, and he's trying to do what he needs to do, but she's not understanding his love language. She don't understand him. All she can see is what she needs, what she wants, where I need to be, and so on and so forth. But she haven't taken the time to understand my love language and me. So rather than me pouring all of me out as I've done before, now I'm somewhat reserved because, hold on, it's just not about you. It's about me too. But the whole while, I'm giving you this, I'm about to cut it off. But hold on, why are you not giving in to me so you can get the best out of me? Have you taken the time to understand me to know what I need, what I want, without me even asking for it? Have you studied me and paid attention to me in order to get me to where you want me to get?
But you throw the love language word out, but I feel like black men want to love you in their love language, not ours. And that's where the struggle comes in at, because you're so busy trying to love me in the way you want to be loved, but we can have two totally different love languages. And we're bumping each other in the middle of the road because you're trying to love me the way you receive love, and I don't receive love that way.
But if you love me enough, you're going to understand me, you're going to know what I meant. Our parents, I mean, everybody's parent is not affectionate, don't go around saying I love you and kissing on you, so on and so forth. But as we mature in life, we begin to understand when my mother and my father made these sacrifices. Instead of going to take a vacation, they worked during their vacation so we can have extra school, we can have schools closed, we can have a roof over our head. They made those sacrifices, which was a love language, even though they didn't come back, hug us and took us on a vacation. And once we understood that, we loved them for who they were and the way that they love us. And we don't diss them and, no, you didn't love me the way I want to be loved. We learn to accept the way that they love us. So why can't it be that way with a man if you care enough about him and maybe teach him a little bit at a time on what you need, where you need to be touched, what you need to hear, so on and so forth. Why not do that?
It seems like Chastity, it seems like from what she says, that is the opportunity and that has been presented, but
It's a little too late.
We've already endured so much.
yeah, she feels like it's about time. It's about you didn't do it quick enough. My patience with you has grown thin, and I think me and you have both experienced this line drawn in the sand where it was, wait, what you mean it's over? Like, I'm just getting to the point. I'm in love with you now. I loved you, and I was in love with you before, but I've learned so much about you now. I feel like there's a level of patience that needs to be reached. I feel like you have your own definition of what being patient is, but I don't think that it's fair to your partner or the man, because your level of patience is not our same level of patience. And what you may feel is you're enduring heartache, you don't know, we're not as vocal as you are.
Exactly.
So because we're not as vocal as you are, and we're not telling you what hurts as much, you feel like because you're voicing your hurts, you're voicing your pains, you're voicing your concerns, and we're not, that we're not hurting. But that's not true. Which brings me to my next question.
George,
Go ahead.
I like what you're saying, because the last girl I dated, it was a problem because it got to a point where we had been dating for a while, and there were certain things I expect for her to do. She knew what I like. She knew, how I like it, what I like, so on and so. But I had to keep prying it out of her, and that bothered me because it was a form of disrespect to me. Because if you love me and you wanted, part of your aim was to make sure that you want to enhance my happiness. Now, if you know I like this and I desire this, why do I have to keep prying it out of you? And that bothered me, so that kept me from being able to pour into her, because I felt that you didn't love me enough or you didn't respect me enough to want to see, want to make sure that I was continuing being happy.
Yeah, I think that, and I know that we don't get enough of relationship advice growing up. Well, you got, like you said, there's girl talk. You girl talk. You hear your moms, your aunts, everybody's talking. Men are not sitting around growing up talking about, yeah, man, because I just did this for Jackie and I went and got. That's not how we talk. We don't talk about that. As a matter of fact, we don't even talk about our experiences when we get hurt. So we deal with a lot of our hurtful experiences
Alone.
within.
That's right.
Or we self-medicate.
That's right.
We go out, we sleep with somebody else. We go out, we drink. We go out, we do drugs. So we're not at a place where we can be vocal, especially in today's time. There's more drug abuse. There's more illicit sex.
That's right.
Nobody is really talking about how they feel when they're men. And so, of course, it's easier for you to say, I'm done. But
then you come home to the person who wants the best for you and destroy them inside your house.
And I don't agree with that. I don't think that's cool. That's not cool.
Because you expect for us to heal what you don't communicate. How can I heal you if I don't even know where you're hurting at?
And now that you're speaking about healing, a relationship is actually a place where not just you come to heal this black man, but he's also there to heal you.
Right.
And see, the problem is, in most of our black relationships today, because we're talking about booed up black love, in most of our relationships today, the woman, the black woman, the black queen, the great queen elephant, she believes that she is the only one doing the healing because she's so communicative. But this man is actually changing. And you can't, just like you can't see the changes that are happening in your womb when you're impregnated or when you're having a baby, you don't always see the change as it's happening. Sometimes it takes time. It takes 9 months for a baby to be conceived. But you, in the 6th month, you're not like, you know what? I'm done with this.
But maybe sometimes it's good for the black woman to walk away and let you heal on your own before
Right.
you destroy her. And then maybe you can come back.
Mike, these women, man. She's talking from, this is every black woman. They all, I call it a superpower. I truly do call it a superpower. The question is it healthy?
Where does the nurturing come in?
Is
know,
it healthy?
I feel
It
like-
may be healthy for you, but is it
Yeah.
healthy
Yeah.
overall?
I feel like the relationship I'm in right now, and her and I talked about this on our vacation in Cabo. Last year was a rough year for us, and we broke up for
How
the
long?
better half of the year.
Oh my God.
Half of the year.
Brother, wherever you are out there, I know you went through it those 6 months. Let me tell you something, man. I'm on your side, boy. I don't care what she have to say. She left you for 6 months. She don't deserve you. You're a good man, all right? Go ahead, finish.
I was like, you know what? I am done. I can't handle no more disrespect. I can't. And it wasn't disrespect on his part. It was just like a lot of disrespect going on. And I just didn't want to deal with it. So I left. And it was no communication. At one point, I kind of, whenever he needed help with something, I would help him. And then I drew a line in the sand. I was like, don't call me, don't text me, don't do nothing.
Oh, Lord.
So we
I
went
just
6
feel for
months.
him.
Like no communication at all. In December 31st, he texted and said, "Can I spend?"
Yeah, because we were supposed, we had
We had an
we
outing
were supposed to
plan.
go
See the
watch
fireworks. And he texted me that I was getting my truck. Well, I will never forget it. He texted me. I was getting my truck washed. He was like, "I want to spend New Year's with you," and I said, "Why?" He was like, "Because I want to show you that this is what I want. Like this is it." And I was like, "Okay." And I changed plans with her, and we hung out, and we've been on a roll ever since.
Brothers,
I'm like, girl, go with your
brothers.
man.
We've been on a roll ever
He
since.
texted her and said, I want to show you that this is what I want. Let me get to this next question. All right. It's getting a little hot up in here, bro. It's getting hot, man. You know why it's getting hot? I'm feeling all this heat coming from right here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's that heat. It ain't me and you. It's the words, it's the passion. Okay. So we're going to talk about this process called amalgamation. And what that is, let me read it to you. Amalgamation is when nickel and copper are combined to create brass. When this happens, the brass is neither nickel or copper, but it becomes a new substance. Could it be when we merge with people sexually, we become someone totally different? Not just a new version of us, but just a new person. Because that's what it is. That's when people get married, they become one.
I haven't had that experience yet.
Let's talk about relationships, yo. So if communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, then we have to work to create an environment where we can share our feelings, thoughts, fantasies, hurts, complaints, and compliments without fear of being attacked or abandoned. Do you think that women have a hard time expressing these, especially their fantasies with a man?
Not me.
No?
I can't speak for like every woman, but not me. Like, I'm very open, like on all levels. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a person that like keeps stuff in. Like, you know, if I feel, you know, like a certain way about you or whatever, like I'ma say it. Like
Yeah.
that's me. Like I'm just open.
Do do you find that it's hard to express either your feelings, thoughts, fantasies, hurts, complaints, or compliments to
Yes.
a man? Which one? Which one the most?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Why? Tell me why.
First of all, I feel like stranger danger when it comes to men, mostly because of my younger teenage experience with men.
Which
Particularly
in summary was traumatic? Was it good?
traumatic.
Really?
So it's always, I have my guard up when it's men anyway, but once we've pushed past that fourth wall, like, if you want to talk about sex, you want to talk like let's go, let's talk about it. But as far as like people I'm getting to know, like you and I sitting would never have a conversation about sex because I don't openly talk about sex or my experience with sex with just men.
Yeah.
But if you're my partner and yes, you're gonna get that from me.
But it still takes you a while with your partner to be able to open up.
Yeah.
How long? 6 months? Year?
To untap some freaky stuff, yeah, probably
Yeah.
like 6 months,
Really?
6-7 months.
That's good. Mike.
Sex for me as a child was very traumatic because I didn't choose to lose my virginity at the age I lost it at.
Yeah.
It just happened.
It just
so,
happened.
you know,
It
it
was
was
rough.
just like, yeah, it was just like, so then even as now, and I was just having this conversation with my daughter, I was like, you never put yourself in a room with somebody that could take advantage of you sexually.
Yeah.
Because that's part of your womanhood you'll never get back, and you won't have control over that. So when
Yeah.
it comes to sex, to me, it's just like a guarded conversation with men, because it's like, if I openly talk about sex to you, then you could use that against me.
Do you think that experience made you? Because we were just talking about how you were able to just cut us off, draw that line in the sand. Do you think that made you even tougher as a woman? To be able to just
In my
cut
younger
them off?
years, it made me more promiscuous.
Really?
Because I wanted control over my own sexuality. It was like, well, if I'm going to give it to you, then, and I didn't want to give it to you, like you forcefully took it, then I'm going to go give it to somebody that I really want to give it to and see what this experience is all about as me wanting to give it to.
I think that's like typical with like
Yeah.
every girl. I think
Yeah.
that's like a thing where, you know, like when people go through that, because like it happened to my little cousin, and I was talking to my uncle about it because she's doing stuff and she's keep getting in trouble, and I had to take a step back with him and let him know, like, you know, don't too much keep punishing her for it, because she was kind of like introduced to something. And you know how we feel about stuff. You know, like we get these feelings as adults. So
Right.
just imagine being, you know, like introduced to this at 7 years old. I'm hunting that feeling. Like I want to feel this.
It's a feeling I'm chasing
I'm
as
chasing
a woman
it because I felt
I
it.
want control over my own sexuality, and I feel like that was a traumatic experience for me and I can imagine a 7-year-old, but as 15 years old, that was traumatic for me. And then not on the flip side of that, like it's traumatic, and then not having anyone to go to voice it. So it's like, so now when I'm getting of age that I want to experience sex, I want to experience sex on my own terms.
Yeah.
So whatever it looks like, I'm going to go hunt after it, and I'm going to get it from.
And we appreciate you for sharing that with us. And everybody out there, if you, ladies, if you've had that experience and you're a teenager, or if you're a grown woman and you're wondering why you are more promiscuous or you are more desirous of having sex now, she just gave you the reason why, because you have this innate feeling of want to have control over it and be able to dictate who you want to be with, and that's why that's driving you in that direction. Mike, have you had the experience of being afraid to share your feelings, thoughts, fantasies, hurts, complaints, compliments with your partner?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all. But there are times when I limit how much I see, and that's only because I haven't built that trust, or that trust haven't been built where I can just open up wide open. You know, I could go deep, but I'm not gonna go wide open from time to time. You know, it has to be somebody, a soulmate, somebody I can really, really trust, and I know they have my best interest.
Well, guys, we just about wrapping up all of the questions. I think the last thing we want to talk about are soul ties on a deeper level. We had a little private conversation off the camera before I took my Dickie shirt off because it was so hot up in here. I think it's Preston. Did you turn the AC off? Something? Yeah.
I'm just around, you know.
Yeah. It's your whole aura. Chastity says she never had a soul tie before.
Praise God, I haven't. The way you explain.
It is a blessing that you never had that before. Mike, you definitely had one before because you were married, so you were definitely involved with someone that you guys became one. Two bodies became one soul, and when you dissolved that marriage, it was a... Tell us a little bit about how you felt on those nights. Like, what was the feeling? It's 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. You just getting home from work. You laying down to go to sleep. What would happen to you as a man when you started missing this woman? This is what a soul tie does.
Yeah, well, I would go to sleep, and I'm not a heavy drinker, so I would go to the daiquiri shop, and I would go get a daiquiri because if I drink that daiquiri, I think it was jungle juice. I would drink that jungle juice, and I would drink all of it, and it would put me to sleep. And I figure I'm good for the night. I'm going to sleep through the night. And 10, 11 o'clock, I'm up. Damn, I'm up. And of course, my mind, is she home? You know, is she with someone else? She going out, or what's the situation? So I drive to her house. I pass and I see her car. See if her car is there. If her car was there, I felt pretty good. But her mom, whenever she would go place, her mom would turn the back porch light on. So when she come in, it would be dark. If that back porch light was on and her car was on, damn, she must be going somewhere. Did they forget to turn the light off? Nah, she's going somewhere. So now I'm riding by. So
now you up all night.
yeah,
It's all night flight now.
So I'm riding this way, taking a little ride, coming back to see if I can see if somebody's gonna drop off. Sometimes I got late at night, I need to go to work the next day, that damn light's still on. Is she in there or is she gone?
Or did she spend a night by somebody's house? Chastity put her man through this for 6 months, bro.
But you know what? It was, I can imagine it was hard for him, but it was hard for me to do it because I looked at him like we've had experience together. I wouldn't want to be with nobody else but you. So why you got me doing this to you? Like,
Why he got you doing this?
I would much rather for you to be here in this bed.
Is that right?
And I struggle. That was sometimes I struggle, and we talked about it. Like, do I just?
But he didn't know that though.
He didn't know. Like, I wouldn't.
He didn't have a clue because don't call me.
Yeah.
Don't
But
text me.
I knew, like, as her
She knew.
friend,
Yeah.
but I'm just observative like that. And she probably thought that I did. I just told her this in Cabo. She didn't know that I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She never talked about it. And I don't ask her because I'm not nosy. Like, if you're not telling me, I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
And we good, like, really, you know,
Yeah,
like,
we
really
talk all
tight.
the time.
We talk all the time. But, like, I'm just more open. Like, I'm going to flood her and, you know, talk to her more. And if she don't share nothing, like, I don't feel like, oh, she not sharing. I don't feel like, oh, she's secretive, that's her. You don't have to tell me because I don't care.
Yeah.
But if I have something going on that I will tell you. But back to what you were saying, this is how I help myself. First of all, my mind, love is abstract. We can't feel it. Like, we can't, it's not concrete. We can't touch it, right? So it's a feeling, right? So once I turn my feelings off, that's it. I don't feel anything, so I don't care. It's a mind thing, and that's me. That's the way I think. Y'all know I'm just crazy.
Yeah,
like
You know what that is? That's you. That's her.
No.
That's
I'm
every
totally
black
different
woman.
from her, though. No.
How is yours different?
No,
Tell us how
mine
yours
is
are different.
I wear my heart on my sleeve.
But you
gonna
so you
see
feel it, but you just don't react.
No, I don't. I'm not a reactive person. But you're gonna see the changes within me when my heart is broken. Like you're gonna be able to tell. And she said it, and I was like, I was so.
She was shocked. Like we was playing a game. We
I
had
was
it
like,
recorded.
she knew it, and I was like, last year I was so unhappy. She was like, yeah, I knew.
But the similarity, even though there's a big difference between the two of y'all, she's able to turn it off. She's able to just cut him off.
Yeah.
As men, these are not superpowers that we have. You get what I'm saying?
Because y'all come in the door thinking y'all have more power than y'all actually have anyway.
We come in the door doing what?
Thinking y'all have more power.
Fellas, you
than
see
y'all
what the
actually
problem
have.
is? This is why we got this show right now. This is why we're here right now. This is why we're here right now. Listen, the pride of a black woman.
Because you have to understand, y'all didn't choose us. We pick y'all.
Right.
y'all don't choose us. So when y'all get that under y'all thick skull and get that to the point where y'all are comfortable and y'all it's not bruising your ego, you'll be able to understand how we think and how we move.
In summary, fellas, you ain't shit. Listen, this is another episode of Booed Up. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we go?
I want you to say something when we talked about a little earlier.
Yeah.
About how you are able to control yourself.
How I'm able to not sleep around.
Yeah.
So I will say this. Before my last relationship, I didn't sleep with anybody for 2 years. And it's not because I didn't have people that wanted to sleep with me. It's not because I wasn't meeting people. I had just gone through a breakup. And when I went through the breakup, it was my heart was broken. And my heart wasn't even broken because I was with somebody who did me wrong. I actually was in a long-term relationship, and I cheated on the person that I was with. And when I cheated on the person that I was with, the person that I cheated with cheated on me.
Y'all see how that works?
Yes, and but the worst part about it was the person that I cheated on, and I had been cheating for years. I mean, I was just so immature. I don't even know, Mike, we talked about how guys just do things, and it's not even I would even tell, I'd be like, man, you know I don't like that girl, stop playing. All right, I won't ever talk to her again. Never ever talk to her again. It was one night, I'm gone. But this time, it got me, right? And so when I cheated and I got hurt, I must have went through like a 1.5 year period where I was just suffering and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And that was that soul tie I was talking about earlier. But the most amazing thing happened. Like the person that I had cheated on for years, who was really hurt and left like with all kinds of trauma, she had to watch me and see all of the stuff that I had ever done to her. She was able to see it. Like she was able to see this is the reward of like everything that he ever did. And I was able to realize it. I'm like, I never meant to do you like this. Because I never saw it coming back like that. But how it came back, like you never see it. You could be looking for it. You could be trying to keep an eye out. You never see it. And so when that happened, it was that experience and it was other experiences that showed me opening yourself up sexually is how it happens. Like you can't do that.
Right.
You know, you could hang out with people, you could go places, you could go on dates, but when you come together with somebody sexually, you have no control over that emotional part.
Right.
Now, there may be men who can do that at certain times in their lives, but I know for me, I can't do it.
Right.
And I can't shut it off the same way that a woman can. So that's how I'm able to, I know the consequence. Like I know that you can't come back from that type of heartbreak and just do the same thing. Like it's impossible. I had so many dark nights. I had nights, because I used to stay downtown, I had nights where I would wake up like you. And it was during COVID. So I had a car that was leased that I had to turn in right before COVID started, and I couldn't find another car. So when COVID hit, I don't have a car. So I'm at the apartment, I'm just hit till I'm waiting for April, May, like when we gonna come out of this? So I couldn't go take those rides by her house. I would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, bro. I'm walking to the Mississippi River. Everybody's supposed to be inside the streets, dead, it's dark, the whole city. Nobody out, no cops out, nobody out. And I'm walking through the city pacing, like, damn, gee, what happened, bro?
Wow.
What's going on, right? And just everything that came with the soul tie, the dreams, like you hear voices, you hear the person that you used to sleep with, she calling your name at night while you sleep. I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And this is insane. Like, what is going on? And I had to call my ex. I'm like, could you please just come over, please? I just need you to sit with me. She came.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and when I got past that, it was nothing that I wouldn't do for her. And it had nothing to do with getting back together. Like
Right,
we wasn't going back together. But if you need something because of that,
Right, because she was there. Yeah.
I'm there.
That's-
Because
that's-
I never, you didn't have to stay there for me. Like you didn't have,
Wow.
that was your time to say, got you.
So have she ever asked you like why? Like what
Why
was your
cheated?
explanation like for her?
She did. It was mine. It wasn't. It was just immaturity. Like, there was no thought behind it.
Right.
You know, growing up in New Orleans during the time that I was growing up, it was the more girls you got, you were that guy.
Oh yeah.
And if you had a good girl at home, and you had those girls, whoever was willing or whoever liked you, you found yourself, your confidence, and you found your swag in the women. So the women that we date, the women that all of you guys, all these beautiful black women, you make us feel great. You make us feel wonderful. And we pay you back by telling you, man, I don't want you no more.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But not knowing that every person we've been with, every person we've slept with, every person that's told us, oh, you cute, you got swag, oh, you fine, you this, you made us feel great. And so that made me feel great. But the problem is, when you walk away from that, you never really had that self-confidence within yourself.
Right.
So you guys have to grow up and gain your own self-confidence. Like you have a monthly cycle, you suffer, you talk amongst women, you go through things, you get hurt, and you gain that inner strength that we don't get until later, until heartbreak. And I think that's what I was saying when I was telling you, but wait, you're breaking up with me now? Like I'm getting it. I got it now. And this is the process. Like it's so much slower for us. But she don't care though.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm able to, I'm good.
Good. That's a good thing,
Good,
man.
yeah. But it's not something that I would rather be that old guy who's just, man, I don't it don't bother me. But this is where I'm at. So my body is for whoever that person is.
Yeah.
And until then, it's me. I'm me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like that though. Like literally, like to be honest with you, the past probably like from like 21 maybe to now, it's probably the most people that I got, like added up on this small list.
Yeah.
But just like I'm just dating now.
Yeah.
Like so I'm just.
I think that's when you tapped into your fun side.
Yeah, like fun. Because I've been always this person and because I tell you, I grew up with my grandma, so it was no sex talks, none, because we ain't having sex. You going to church, So like me and my sister, like we didn't get that, but we also, we didn't have sex at a young age. I was like in the 10th grade in high school. When I broke my virginity, and even like when I count, my sex partners, I don't never count that because it was just like a one-time thing, and it was like. Oh, I don't think I want to do that kind of thing. Like we in the same class now. I gotta go to the class
And see him.
Yeah. And I was so happy when he stopped coming. Like, so like that's me. And I just feel like now I'm at this big age. I'm actually just starting to like mature when it comes to sex because I haven't had it that much. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I've went way longer than 2 years.
Yeah, I know. I have a friend right now who she has not had sex for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, and
she's in the entertainment business. She's working around. You name them, she's working with them.
Wow.
She goes everywhere. I mean, we're talking about big artists. She's working with them. So she has her pick of the litter, but it's not popping with her.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a difference between men and women.
I feel like when you take sex off the table, a lot of people wouldn't engage with each other because sex plays a huge role in how we communicate amongst the sexes. That once you take it off the table, there would be nothing to.
There's not much to talk about.
There's not much to
so
talk about.
sex is really all of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Cause I like my first boy first. Right? First.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Chastity, I like him. Like, I like him. Oh, I went slid in his DM.
Oh, so you do that from time to time?
That was my first time.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then, we was talking. I was telling Chastity, like, oh, I really like him. Like, conversation, like the type of person that he was and everything. And then he had came over to the house, and I was drinking. So, I was drinking, and, I was, being real promiscuous. and like I invited him in the shower and stuff like that, and then we had sex, and then I was calling Chastity like, who taught this boy this stuff? Because like I'm older than him, and like who taught him?
So
this?
you had a young boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How young was he?
Not that young, like
20s?
no, like 3 years
Yes.
under me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so it wasn't that bad, but you know, like I'm you know, like
Yeah.
where you learn this stuff from.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, because. and
Fellas.
Yeah. Why you say fellas?
So you know what? I'm happy she shared all of that. Because it's time for what all of y'all been wanting to know. Y'all seen the pictures on Instagram. You saw the bathing suit when she was in Cabo. You saw her hanging out with Chastity. They just got back from Dallas. They went to the festival. They be everywhere. Seeing Usher in Vegas and going to see him at Essence. Drum roll. Your body count is finally time. You and Chastity, I want both of the numbers. You know what? We're going to do that next episode. Next episode is booed up. Body count, we're going to pick it back up. Y'all telling me next time. Y'all telling me. I'm finding out. I'm finding out. I'm finding out. Mike, we're not saying nothing. We don't have nothing to say.
No.
We doing 60.
But she said 60. That's a low count, bro. Anyway, it's booed up. Thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, subscribe to, what's the name of my page? The George Boy Show. Iconic Culture TV. See you.
In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Let me see what spring is like, or Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true.